Hello and welcome back to the next video in our tutorial course, How to Draw for Dummies. And we've looked at a lot of things so far. We've looked at line art, how to sketch, how to clean up your line art, how to block in your colors, how to color your background, And now we're going to look at how to render your characters. Pretty much the same thing as the background, only now we can go in, and now that we have the atmosphere around them, we know exactly where to put our light sources and our shadows and so on. I'm gonna begin with the wolf. I'm gonna select his fur, select a slightly darker color, make the brush a little softer, and I just go in and add shadows. And again, it's so easy to color now that I have now that I have the background. You don't even have to acknowledge it. It's just unconsciously, it's so much easier because you know exactly what atmosphere your character is sitting in. You know exactly where the shadows on the tree are and where the shadows on his body have to be. It just makes things a lot easier. Now, one thing that I didn't do, that I said that I would do and I didn't, is I did not color the lines of the characters. And the reason why I didn't do it is because I thought it would be a good idea to do it in the actual video, just to have a good opportunity to explain it once again for those who didn't quite understand or didn't or who would just simply like to have another demonstration. And I'm working with the wrong eraser over here, so there you go. Looks better. And what I'm doing now is not mindlessly adding shadows. I am keeping in mind where the light comes from. So the light is coming from just behind the tree, somewhere over here. I can't draw because I'm on a locked layer, but from here, it's hitting his body and casting shadows all over this side. And I haven't added any highlights yet, but I will in just a second. Now, to add a feeling of furry, to add that sense of furriness, I will use a hairbrush. And no, that is not, I'm not talking about the kind of hairbrush that you use to brush your hair in the morning if you're a girl. I don't know if you're a boy, if you would use a brush. I've never used a brush in my life. I don't think so. See, I made a mistake, so I'm going to Control Z. It happens to the best of us. I'm not saying that I'm one of the best, but it happens even to the best of them. Because I don't know who they are, but it happens. I don't know what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, so we've done pretty much every. Just a second, I want to. Yep. There you go. Now we're gonna add a new layer, clip it to the mask, turn the hardness a little bit down, pick a color that is lighter, and start adding that rim light that we were talking about. last time. I didn't spend a lot of time on the character design because you may have noticed I'm not very good at drawing wolves. I had to look at the reference photos, and again, I didn't get to talk about this very much. Don't be afraid to use reference photos, because for the longest time I used to think that it's a it's a reason to be proud of yourself not to use reference photos. You know, I would even like write in the descriptions on of my drawings when I used to put them up on DeviantArt, and I'm talking about like 2008, 2007, when I would put my early works on DeviantArt. Sometimes I would write in the description, "No reference photo," and I was expecting some kind of a medal for not using reference photos, and nobody told me that, you know, there's no shame in using reference photos. In fact, they are actually very, very useful. So keep that in mind. Don't run away from reference photos, and by God, do not think that you're a better artist for not using reference photos. That's how you learn, from looking at things, from having a reference, whether it's in a photo or, you know, from your memory, but from your actual, like, active memory. Like, you look at something and you keep it in your mind and you say, okay, next time I'm drawing, I'm gonna do this or that. But reference photos, Google, and, you know, other artists' work on DeviantArt, for me, is a great inspiration. And I'm always, I have a folder filled with lots and lots of art from other people that I appreciate and that I really like. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do his nose, which, first of all, I have to change the color of his nose to something more like this. Yep. Then I'm gonna take a lighter, way lighter color and add a little bit of shine to his nose. Darken the nostrils, and I think we're done with that. We're gonna go over here where we put our teeth and eyes as well. A good idea would be to not color your eyes in white. Either use a very, very light brown or a beige or something along those lines, so that you can add a shine to it, because it's much more expressive when you add some shine to his eyes, as you can probably see right now. Now let's go over here and add some macabre lighting to his fingers to give them a much more spider-like feeling. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the Red Hood and go in and with a soft brush go over it. I don't like the color, it doesn't blend well with what we have already. And I'm going to keep that I'm gonna use the lines to my benefit, in the sense that I will use them as a rim light. But you'll see when I get to those, I have to... I don't remember where I put the... Yes, darkness. Yep, that works. And now let's go to the lines. Teeth. This is gonna be this color. Nope, it doesn't work. Play around with the lines. Don't just dump it in there with the paint bucket tool. Play around with it. Yeah, that kind of works. It kind of looks like it can be mistaken for his eyes, but I don't really care, because that feeling of, you know, what is it? What is that? That adds to the uneasy atmosphere. This is pretty much what I'm looking for. Almost icy feeling. Yep. What else? The red hood. I'm gonna make it something along those lines. Let's fill it. Now let's take this and take a darker tone and do this. Fill it in. It almost looks like he's on fire or something, and I like that. Yeah, I guess it looks okay. Now we've done everything but the wolf. And I think I'm gonna choose a lighter color for his skin. And I'm gonna play around with it so that he is in the shadow here and there. No, even darker. Yeah, I guess something like this. I'm not very happy with the way he looks, but what I want to do right now is I want to add the special effects. I said I would do this in a different video, but I want to do it now because it doesn't take very long, and why not? So now we finished coloring this, but we can add so much more to the atmosphere with very subtle tweaks and easy to achieve. We're gonna take the brush, we're gonna create a layer on top of everything else, on top of the color, on top of the lines, on top of everything. We're gonna select a white color over here, make it big, and just kind of draw around, almost as if we were drawing a mist. And I even have some special brushes for that are that are made for simulating clouds. but I don't want to overuse them. So, you know, something like this. Because he is, after all, he kind of looks like a Dementor. So, you know. The wolf is kind of cornered. He has nowhere to go. His soul will be eaten. Sadly. We're gonna turn the opacity down. Wait, we're gonna have to merge these two because so that we can turn the opacity down at the same time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Filter, Blur, Radial Blur, Spin, and the amount I'm going to turn it up. And what this does is it spins the entire layer. I think I spinned it a little bit too much. Again, Filter, Blur, Radial Blur, way less. No, it's still too much. I don't think it works. Maybe let's try just a little bit. And if that doesn't work, we're gonna just leave it. Yeah, it works. So I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna add another layer, and with a soft brush, I'm gonna go over all of these. No, I need an even softer brush. And I'm gonna add light all over the place. What this does is it adds a lot of atmosphere. And we're gonna lower the opacity once again. Finally, we're gonna add another layer on top of everything. We're gonna go to Gradient, select a black color, zoom out, and holding Shift so that we make sure that it's straight, the line is straight, we do this. Up and down as well. And let's try a blending mode over here. No, it doesn't work. So we're gonna leave it at normal. And I'm gonna try something. What if I click on blur, Gaussian blur? Yeah. It's a lot of playing around with all of these settings. I couldn't tell you like what each and every one of them does. You have to experiment with all of them. With the blending modes, you have to experiment with the filters and over here the artistic filters. I wouldn't recommend those, but the blur filters, these are very useful. I use them a lot, and all of these you have to like try them all out because everything does something different, and it has a very good effect. So I would say that we're done. Thank God. Because you probably couldn't tell, but I've recorded all of these in one day, and it was crazy. And yeah, but I really hope that you learned something from this whole tutorial course. I don't think I'm very good at it, but if I could, if you took something from it, then I'm very glad and I'm very happy. And if you liked it, you know, share it. When somebody asks, hey, what tutorial would you recommend? You know, why not share it? If you thought I was horrible at it, then let me know in the comments. I would like to know what I did wrong so that I could improve my my techniques or my speaking skills or my anything. for the next time. So that would be all. Until next time, I thank you very much for being part of this whole course, and I'll see you later, whenever that is. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.